Carcinoid syndrome is characterized by episodic flushes, abdominal pain, and diarrhea due to a serotonin secreting carcinoid tumor. Wrong statement about carcinoid syndrome. A. 5-hydroxy-indole acetic acid level in urine is elevated. B. Left-sided heart valves are commonly involved. C. Octreotide labeled scan is useful in diagnosis. D. Indicates hepatic metastasis. Correct answer C. Left-sided heart valves are commonly involved. 5-HIAA is a metabolite of serotonin and is detected in increased quantity in urine in those with carcinoid syndrome and hence can be used as a diagnostic lab test. Intestinal carcinoid tumor without metastasis is unlikely to manifest the carcinoid syndrome as the liver acts as a filter and the serotonin produced by the tumor has no chance of affecting the heart valves. Presence of hepatic metastasis help the increased serotonin levels to act on the right-sided cardiac valves. Left-sided valve involvement generally indicates additional lung metastasis as lung acts as the second filter, removing serotonin further from the circulation. Octreotide, a somatostatin analog, can be labeled with indium 111 and used for imaging neuroendocrine tumors which express somatostatin receptors. It is also useful for treating diarrhea and flushing associated with carcinoid syndrome. Normally, QRS complex is predominantly positive in lead 1. A predominantly negative QRS complex in lead 1 can be seen in all of the following except A. Dextrocardia, B. Left bundle branch block, C. Arm lead inversion, D. Severe pulmonary hypertension. Correct answer B. Left bundle branch block. Left bundle branch block is characterized by a notched R wave in lead 1 which is dominantly positive QRS deflection. In dextrocardia, since the activation of the ventricles is opposite to that of levocardia, the QRS complex is negative in lead 1. Same pattern occurs when the left arm and right arm leads are reversed. Arm lead reversal can be identified by absence of change in chest lead pattern corresponding to dextrocardia. In normal persons, chest leads show a progressive increase in positive deflections from lead V1 to V5 or V6. This progression does not occur in dextrocardia as the predominant ventricular mass is on the opposite side and not beneath the standard chest leads. In severe pulmonary hypertension, there is right axis deviation and the QRS complex becomes dominantly negative in lead 1. Bispherians pulse may be seen in all of the following except A. Free aortic regurgitation, B. Combination of aortic regurgitation and stenosis, C. Hypertrophic obstructive cardiomyopathy, D. Fallot's tetralogy. Correct answer D. Fallot's tetralogy. Bispherians pulse has two systolic peaks and is seen in both free aortic regurgitation and a combination of aortic regurgitation and stenosis, especially when the regurgitation is dominant. In severe aortic stenosis, the pulse is low volume and slow peaking, pulsus parvus a tardus. In hypertrophic obstructive cardiomyopathy, soon after the initial rapid ejection of blood into the aorta, the dynamic left ventricular outflow tract obstruction comes into play and reduces the volume of pulse, followed by a delayed additional peak of lesser amplitude, giving a Bispherians nature. The pulse in HOCM is most often felt as a jerky pulse rather than as a true Bispherians pulse. Hypertrophic non-obstructive cardiomyopathy does not cause a Bispherians pulse. In Fallot's tetralogy, a high volume pulse can be felt because outputs from left ventricle and part of the right ventricular output by the right-left shunting across the ventricular defect reach the aorta. Only a small portion of the right ventricular output reaches the pulmonary artery due to the obstruction of right ventricular outflow tract. Dual peaking Bispherians pulse is not a feature of tetralogy of Fallot. This chest X-ray PA view shows a prominent main pulmonary artery segment B. Prominent left atrial appendage, C. Prominent descending aorta, D. None of the above. Correct answer A. Prominent main pulmonary artery segment. The region just above the bulge on the uppermost part of the left cardiac border is the aortic knuckle. The prominent bulge is due to the main pulmonary artery segment, usually indicating severe pulmonary hypertension. Right pulmonary artery is also seen dilated just lateral to the right cardiac border. The region below the prominent main pulmonary artery segment corresponds to the left atrial appendage. Which of the following can be used for aiding smoking cessation? A. Bupropion, B. Nicotine, C. Varenicline, D. All of the above. Correct answer D. All of the above. Nicotine replacement therapy can be used in various ways like nicotine gum, patches, lozenges, inhaler, and nasal spray. In fact, nicotine replacement therapies have been given over-the-counter access, but bupropion and varenicline are prescription drugs used in smoking cessation programs. Shortest acting P2Y12 receptor inhibitor: A. Prasugrel, B. Clopidogrel, C. Cangrelor, D. Ticagrelor. Correct answer C. Cangrelor. All these drugs are P2Y12 receptor inhibitors. The first two are irreversible inhibitors, while the latter are reversible inhibitors. Cangrelor is short-acting, so that it has to be given as an infusion. Regarding risk of venous thrombosis in men versus women, true statement is A. Risk of venous thrombosis is almost equal in men and women, and second venous thrombosis higher in men. B. Risk of both first and second venous thrombosis is higher in men. C. Risk of both first and second venous thrombosis is higher in women. D. None of the above. Correct answer A. Risk of first venous thrombosis is almost equal in men and women, and second venous thrombosis higher in men. A study has shown that even the risk of first venous thrombosis was twice as high in men compared to women if you exclude the risk due to reproductive factors like use of oral contraceptives, pregnancy, puerperium, and hormone replacement therapy.
Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel for future updates and click on the bell icon for all updates. Thank you.